All right, streaming live. We are live.
And I'm still here.
Just got back from the movies, man. We ran a gauntlet today. We saw 2 movies. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and what's the other one?
Aquaman.
DC Aquaman. So we're gonna do our reviews, but first I got an intro. Check it out. All right, we back. That was our intro.
It was a glorious intro.
It was, man. So, all right. So, first on the agenda, we're gonna do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Just fresh off seeing that. SONY'S Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So overall, first of all, did you like this movie?
Yeah. As my good friend here well knows, I was not in it for this movie. I talked a lot of trash on the entire idea of this movie.
Did you?
I did.
You didn't like the trailer though? Or did you like the trailer?
No, I like the trailer. I love the
Okay.
look. This wasn't a movie I was looking for.
Because you're not a fan of Miles Morales
I'm not a big fan.
Comic arc.
I'm not a big fan of Miles, and Spider-Man stories tend to go way, way down the more Spider people you put in them.
Uh-huh.
You know, like there's always going to be the Clone Saga that we don't talk about. You know,
I like the Clone Saga.
The Clone Saga got messy, man. That's all I'm saying. The Clone Saga got messy.
All right. So, this movie, which is kind of cool. This movie was like a comic book come to life.
Yeah. Because
it's animated. It's SONY'S animated style comic book movie. I want to say it's what's that animated? No, it's animated, but it's computer animated. A computer graphic animated movie. I'm losing it right now.
Like it has a really unique feel to it. Like there's this great comic book filter that they put on it, you know.
Right. But see, it's the way they animate it, it looks like you looking at a comic, but it's like a comic come to life or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how they did that. So it's a whole new style, and it take a second to get used to when you see it because the motion kind of look like it's ain't the motion kind of weird looking?
Like because when you watch it, it's like it doesn't look like it should be moving.
Right,
You
right.
know, like, and it's really weird to say that after watching cartoons for 28 years. You know, but like it really looks like it should be something that someone did like a 3D painting of on a Waco pad or something. You know?
It's
You know, and so like and because there's so much movement, because again it's Spider-Man, there's gonna be movement. It takes a little while for your eyes to get used to.
it's an interesting style, and I think moving forward, I think other people are gonna start copying. You know how they do.
Yeah.
When some work, they just copy. So let's talk about the movie. So, Into the Spider-Verse. Now this is about a different Spider-Man. This is about a kid named Miles Morales. Now everybody know Peter Parker is the usual Spider-Man. Now we've seen 6. How many live action movies they got? I think it's 6.
We got 6 of them.
3 plus 5. Okay, yeah. We got 6 live action movies. We got the cartoons. We got the animated series. We got cartoon movies. We got a lot of different versions.
Spider-Man the movie, the game.
Right. So, okay, this story is about Miles Morales. Now, he a black and Puerto Rican kid living in Brooklyn. Now, they established this. This is in another universe. This is not the main universe that people are used to. So, in this universe, it is a Peter Parker, and he is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is just a kid that gets bit by a radioactive spider. They didn't even say where the hell that spider come from or nothing.
Well, I mean, I think that was like more of a nod to like the fans. Like they kind of painted that picture like, oh, Miles is going here, so y'all know what we're about to do, right?
Right. I mean, and that's cool because everybody know the origin story. It's like, in a way, I thank them for not going deep into that, but then also to the new people coming in, they might wonder why, what the hell,
like even the way the movie handles it's like, don't worry about that. That's not important.
Right? No, which is cool because you could just hit the ground running and then just keep moving on with your movie. You know, because everybody know it's somehow that spider is radioactive, but they don't know.
And they kind of do that a lot in this movie. It's like, okay, so we're about to tell you some stuff that don't make sense, but go with it.
Right. So it was just a whole new take on Spider-Man by giving this other guy the power. Now, I don't want to spoil. I was about to say something that happened, but I don't want to spoil it. So let's just say, okay, since this is called Into the Spider-Verse, for some reason, all these other Spider-Man from different universes all kind of collide. And so Miles, at this time, just getting his powers, he just becoming Spider-Man, and then he meet all these other Spider-Mans. You got your Peter Parker. What's that guy name who played the Peter Parker for? Now this is the
mainstream Earth 616
Peter Parker. Right? What's
his name is
you said it like
I already forgot it. Jake Johnson.
Okay. So anyway, and this was kind of surprised me. Now this Peter Parker is like middle age, fat.
This is a dude, if you look across him on the street, it's like, damn, he's kind of a loser.
Yeah, right. It just like, it's like, damn, I kind of always knew that this was going to be Spider-Man life when he got older.
Yeah.
Because you hope that everything be all right with Peter Parker, but he always seemed to just can't get right, man. His life just shitty. Like you save the world, but you can't pay your rent. It's kind of like, damn, dog. He gets evicted.
He was always
lose girlfriends. He lose jobs. Like
and it's not like this is like an every now and again thing. It's like, okay, so this week, how does his life get effed up?
Yeah. So he got, he's got the middle-aged loser syndrome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got a shitty apartment and
like dude's got half a spider suit on and some sweatpants.
But that wasn't his fault though.
But I feel like feel like he was going to end up there regardless. Yeah.
So. Like the old greasy guy in the sweatsuit and the gold chain. So anyway, let's bring the story of I don't know if this is in the comics or whatever, but the main plot is they got to find a way to get back to their universe and save their universe. You know how these go.
Like, so I think this whole storyline, I'm not sure how the actual like timeline of this happens, but like it is an arc in the comics.
Okay.
But I think before that it was a video game.
Oh, I do. Was that Shattered Dimensions?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that game. I remember everybody telling me that game was real good, but I never actually played it.
So like I think they took
got like a similar premise to that.
So like they took the premise of Shattered Dimensions and phased it into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. So in this version, this is kind of like the ultimate version. Is this the ultimate?
Yeah.
So these are like more the ultimate versions of all the characters you know. And I'm not familiar with the ultimate. I was always the original 616 guy. And so when all the ultimate stuff coming out, I was kind of out of comics by then. Right. And I don't know.
Because some of these aren't because some of the characters they did bring in don't feel like the ultimate comics versions of them. Because like I was saying about their Doc Ock. Like
you never seen that one. Was that just all new?
That it was new to me. I don't know if it's all new. But like I feel like there is a female Doc Ock. I just don't know where that one comes from.
Okay, so stuff like the Kingpin, which is pretty much close to the Kingpin physically, but the way he was talking, he just sounded like Tony Soprano or somebody. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So he kind of he's a crime boss, but the Kingpin I know is like speaks very eloquently.
Yeah,
and that one he speaks like a New York crime boss, like a mook or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, whatever you think of when you think of, a generic New York,
like a stereotypical crime boss.
Yeah, like just think of that and make sure he matches the size of the Kingpin, and you got this guy.
Right, and that was played by Lee Schreiber, right?
Yeah,
he did a good job because I didn't even know that was him or whatever. So okay, and then there was Brian Tyree Henry played Miles Morales' dad. He did a good job too. Because you didn't know that was him, right?
No, I had no clue that was him.
Which that is the Paperboy from Atlanta. Okay. Miles Morales. Who do his voice?
That was Shameik Moore. Shameik
Moore.
Shameik Moore.
Okay. Which I was thinking it was Shamar Moore, and I was like, that was Shamar Moore? And no, it's another guy.
Like
it's a younger guy.
You were super impressed.
No, I wasn't. I was just surprised.
Like I'm just saying, like that would have surprised the hell out of me if somehow he could fit his voice into that character.
Okay, so the plot when the plot got going, this was my, I ain't gonna say a problem. Oh, I forgot about Nicolas Cage as a
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah. Okay, when the plot got going, it was getting good, and I really love this movie. But I ain't gonna say a problem, but this is the thing. I was waiting on Miles Morales to, I ain't gonna say pick it up. I was waiting on him to not be such a doofus, or to, I was like, it's okay. Because this thing, he was just like a normal kid. Mm-hmm. He was a normal kid that if he got his powers, he don't know what to do. You know, he's not no badass that can fight crime. He kind of clumsy, and you know he's kind of a nerd, just like Peter Parker. So it's almost the same similar origin as Peter Parker, but it's more modern. Like what would a modern nerd smart kid do if they got these powers or whatever? And that was fun and that was cool, but that just kind of went on just a bit too long. Not too long, a bit too long. When I say a bit too long is, I couldn't believe I didn't feel like he could beat any villains by being so incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Which they played a lot for laughs.
I kept waiting for them to like stick a training montage in, but like they didn't write enough time.
Right, I'm saying they didn't have enough. If they would have done that, that would have been like, what was everybody else doing while he doing that? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so they didn't have time for that. But I was like, okay, this thing, I wanted him to do something to show me that he was competent, but they kept on having him doing all this clumsy, falling around shit. So I was like, okay, take the Amazing Spider-Man, right? The first one. Mm. He always instinctively did shit to when danger was coming. So like if somebody tried to hit him, he instinctively jumped out of his seat and jumped on the ceiling. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Which he didn't know he did it, or he didn't try to do it. It was just instinct, and it was kind of cool. So I'm thinking like, okay, some stuff like that, but no. But in this world, he'll just take the hit and then they'll play it for laughs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I didn't have a problem with it, but I was waiting for the moment where, okay, when is he gonna start showing that he actually do have powers? You know what I'm saying?
Because his response to like having spider sense is, wait, is what's going on here? Something's weird. It's like, which is a reasonable response
because that's his first time.
But like compared to every other version of any spider person getting the powers that we've seen, it's like, wait, did some come at me? Oh, I already caught it.
Right?
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like there's no you don't have time to think about it before your body reacts to the stimulus.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, they were showing him being incompetent for so long. I was like, okay, or is he gonna actually be cool on part 2? Like, we gotta wait till another movie for him to actually, get cool.
Like, and the worst thing about it is like, because for one thing, like by virtue of me like really checking out on his stories in the comics, like it just it always felt weird to me to have to like just accept, oh, this guy is Spider-Man now. Like there was just something that just felt so like. I guess what it was like for me, like getting used to the idea of Spider-Man being able to do the stuff he does, then having someone else drop in and be like, "No, I'm just as good as that last guy," and not seeing how he got there because it was pretty much the same deal for him in the comics. It was well, I guess I got to be Spider-Man now.
Oh, the way they handle Miles.
Yeah, it's like he has the power, so he figures he needs to step up. But it's like there's no like he doesn't suddenly become competent. It's just okay. Yeah, this kid is bad at this.
Right, exactly. So I felt like he was so bad at being a superhero that he ain't gonna never turn it around and actually be good. When is he gonna turn it around? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
I just felt like he was so incompetent.
Yeah.
And I know that was the goal, but it was like, okay, y'all did it too well because now I think he's so incompetent. I don't think he can actually be a hero when it's time to be a hero, which I know is gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but like after showing him to be incompetent, then they like keep showing him going into like traumatic shock every time shit gets real.
Right. But you know what? But it's still, like I said, it was good. But I was just waiting on that moment. That was just my own personal problem, you know. Which it's not really a problem with the plot, you know, except later on when you know he's going to have to actually take over the reins of being Spider-Man, and you know, in this short time, it's like okay, he ain't ready because he was just tripping over his own feet a minute ago. Now he's about to be doing. You know, jumping through all this stuff and fighting all these villains. I'm like, nah.
And like they keep like they keep setting it up for like, don't worry, kid, I'll show you how this stuff is done. And then, nope.
Yeah, but so let's talk about some of the characters because I really liked Miles' uncle, played by
Mahershala Ali.
Thank you. I don't say it wrong, but it's just like a tongue twist.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali played his uncle Aaron, which is actually would that be a spoiler to say who he is?
Because I feel like a lot of folks know about that from back when Homecoming came out. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, and you know who he's going to be."
Yeah. So he's supposed to be, you know, he's the Prowler or whatever. But I thought the way they handled it was real good. You know what I'm saying? And then the
like they could have turned that into a horror movie.
I know they made it like a horror movie. That was so cool how they did that. Where he was, you know, he didn't know he was trying to get Spider-Boy or Spider-Man, I guess.
I think Spiderling is one of the nicknames he's got now in the comic.
Okay, because he's the size of a boy. Like it's no way you look at him and be like, that's a man. No, that's like a 12-year-old boy. But anyway, it was like he was stalking him, and the way they played those scenes was so dope.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Those that long shadow.
Yeah, just the whole way that the music,
man,
the music and
like
shit.
Even the sound effects every time he would come on the screen, man. Just
they made him look hella cool, actually.
like how is it in a movie that has like the ultimate goblin? Prowler is the most terrifying thing in the movie.
I mean, that shows you that they made a good movie.
Like you have a dude that looks like he's a dragon over here, but forget that dude. There's a dude in a suit over here with some claws. Watch out for that dude.
Yeah, and they gave my boy Tombstone was in there, but not a big role. He was just a henchman. I was waiting on him to say. He did say one line. I was like, they gonna just have this Tombstone there for decoration? You know, that's one of my favorite characters. Actually, weird, but that's one of my favorite characters.
He's one of the true constants of like Spider-Man stories too. Like even when everyone else like effed off and disappeared somewhere or died, Tombstone is always there moving something.
Well, he's like a zombie anyway, ain't he? Well, I don't think he's a zombie. I think that's his little stick, but they call him a zombie, but he just
albino.
Yeah.
Really hard skin.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I really like the movie, man. And matter of fact, and the emotion was all there too. Like between him and his dad and all that. That was all played real good. I didn't.
You know what? And also, I don't know how much of this is the writers and how much of it is just Brian Tyree Henderson playing the characters so well. I have never seen a more pure distilled version of a dad in animation in my life. It's like, he is so much like somebody's dad.
That's a copy.
Like, dude getting on the loudspeaker, you forgot to say, I love you, Dad.
I don't know. He shouldn't embarrass his son like that, though. I mean, come on.
I'm sitting there like, bro, I get that you want to have this moment, but you're ruining this moment.
And kids was like, that's a copy. Like, they was just fucking with him.
It's like the day he graduates from that place, he's still going to be like, hey, so am I going to see you at the party? That's a copy. Been 4 years.
So, all right, so we can move on to a raid, man. I get this movie because of the pacing and just the animation, the characters, and you know what? The writing, the comedy was great, and just, you know, like stuff like when they throw the when they throw shit, they make noise like doing. You know, they just show the thought bubbles and stuff.
Like this movie was the first time I ever saw someone write out the sound effect for giving somebody a dap.
Yeah. That made it fun. That made this a fun movie. Just
like this is such a fun comic book movie. Like it's not been that long because technically Batman and Harley Quinn was a real fun comic book movie, but it's just like they fully embrace the fact that they got all of this from a comic book.
Right, that's what made it real cool. You know what I'm saying? So I get this movie epic, dude. I had a lot of fun watching it. What'd you do that for?
It's just this is the second epic.
I know. Hey, we giving epics out like it ain't nothing. We're giving epics out like candy. No, I don't usually give epics. All right, people know me. I had somebody say, "You hate everything." I was like, "No, I don't."
Yeah. We get that a lot.
No, I just point out bullshit, which I'm gonna get to with some other stuff. But but no, I get this movie epic, man. Everything it's a great movie. Great movie for the kids. It's a great movie for the adults. And then you'll think, oh man, I'm tired of all these Spider-Mans. Are they gonna overshadow your main character? And no, they didn't. They used all of them to their strength. They used all of them perfectly for the characters they are. Excuse me. They used them all like Spider Noir. He had like a lot of funny ass lines. You know, just when the even the Penny Parker or whatever. They found a good use for her. You know what I'm saying? So this movie was epic, man. What you give it?
I'm not gonna give it an epic. I can give it a dope. Like it's a solidly enjoyable movie. For me, part of it is I think I'd enjoy this movie more if I was watching it at home than in the theater. Like I love the experience of seeing it in the theater. It's just like being around too many people making just a little too much noise at weird times for me. Like just took me out of it a couple of times.
So watch it again at home. You probably have a better experience.
So like I'm probably gonna come back. Urgent update. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a solid, epic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, but until then.
But it was a kid movie. It was all kids there, families. It's not a good experience for me. Like when I go to movies, I like to go in the daytime where it's just a couple old people. Yeah. But it was unavoidable. So it is what it is.
If you have kids and you haven't taken them to see this yet, just go ahead and take them. You'll be super parents for at least the next week and a half.
Yeah, I hope it do well at the box office, man. Yeah. We'll see.
Because I hope they take this as a lesson that they can still make this stuff work. Because Marvel and Sony have kind of been begging off of the animated stuff a bit.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to our next movie of the day. Keep it pushing. Aquaman. DC's Aquaman. It's already there. Okay. Aquaman is what number is this for the DC?
Let's see. We had 2 Supermans.
No, it's only one.
Oh,
Superman.
one Superman.
It was Superman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. And this, so we're in the 5th movie.
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that. We're in the 6th movie in the DC expanded universe. So this movie starring Jason Momoa as Aquaman and what's whole girl the Mirror?
I have no clue.
I forget. Amber Heard, ain't this her name?
Sure.
Sure. Anyway, so Luke Wilson, I think his name. Yeah, and Dolph Lundgren actually is in there, and William Dafoe.
I didn't know Dolph Lundgren was in there. I saw him. Hold up.
No,
wait.
I remember them talking about him being in there, so he did good too.
Yeah.
So okay, Aquaman is 6th installment of DCEU. They even mentioned Steppenwolf in here.
Yeah.
So this take place after Justice League. And so the story is, what's the story?
The Queen of Atlantis somehow ends up washed up on the shores of a lighthouse, gets rescued by the lighthouse keeper. They fall in love somehow, have a kid. She has to go back to Atlantis. Stuff happens.
Right, and which the whole premise was. This is like from the comic, right? Ocean Master.
Yeah.
Which is his brother, wants to start a war with the surface, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or he want to start a war with the other ocean dwellers, maybe.
So he wants to be the sole ruler of the seas on the planet,
right?
And the best way he can think of to accomplish that is to start a war with the surface world.
Right. I would say once he got control over all the sea dwellers or whatever, he was going to go to surface and wage war. I think that was the whole thing.
He was going to wage war and either completely decimate or at the very least subjugate every surface dweller.
Right.
he was hardcore about it.
Okay. So going from there. That's your plot. All right. This movie had a lot of cliche moments. Like the writing was like, I don't know, man. It was just like some old school writing. You know what I'm saying? It's like an old sitcom or something.
Writing by the numbers on this one.
Yeah, writing by the numbers. And when I say sitcom, the boy and girl moments between Jason Momoa and Amber Heard was so kind of corny, dude.
Yeah.
So, all right, I ain't gonna just talk about the bad stuff. I'm gonna talk about the good stuff first. The good stuff was the special effects.
Yeah.
Special effects was awesome. Like all the stuff underwater looked good. And you know what? Jason Momoa I'm glad to actually see an action star that actually can do the shit.
Yeah.
Because I believe it when he whoop people's ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they just falling out because he the star.
It's like a more believable version of every movie The Rock's ever been in.
Yeah.
It's like only without he has an excuse for being able to shrug off heavy ordnance to the face.
Yeah. So they did a nice little action sequence at the beginning that I was like, okay, this dude need to be in some action movies.
Yeah.
Because he just, you know what I'm saying, he whooping ass and with authority, you know, and I'm like.
And when he's just standing there in the middle of that fucking hallway, it's like, okay, no one should be messing with this dude.
Right. So I was digging the action and the special effects and stuff. That was pretty good.
The cinematography was on point. There was some great shots in this.
It was well directed. My problem is the writing.
Yeah.
So I could tell that the director knew what he was doing, how to make a good movie. And there was some other scenes I'm gonna talk about later.
I'm gonna be honest. The only two problems I have with this movie are the writing and some of the costuming.
Oh, well, we probably have the costumes. Because, you know, they was all...
Mira looked like she was cosplaying.
Yeah. Her still looked cheap.
Yeah.
And her hair looked crappy too, dude.
Because like pretty much everybody else, I'm like, oh, that like Ocean Master looks cool. Black Manta looks on point.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Black Manta.
Even Willem Dafoe, like I can't even say nothing about how misplaced his accent is in Atlantis.
Her shit look like some sparkly shit that you buy at at whatever at the cheap store.
I could go to Comic-Con and point out at least 20 better mirrors.
Yeah.
And 10 that were worse than that.
And that Kool-Aid red hair. Were they doing that just to say, well, we don't want to have her like regular red hair. We need to have her have really red hair. Like
why couldn't her hair look like Dolph Lundgren?
Right. His hair looked like a redhead. Her hair looked like Kool-Aid red. I mean, it was too red, man. This is I mean, she wasn't a bad actress.
No. She played her part well. It's just like
her look
was just so off. Like once she got in some casual clothes, I'm like, that's better.
Yeah.
That hair was still a problem, but
so
that, and I don't like the way they did the Aquaman look, mostly just because like after seeing how
what you mean after he got his whole outfit,
the whole get up.
Okay,
like,
I'm saying mostly he didn't have no shirt on.
Like yeah, but like I really enjoyed the way they had him done for Justice League.
Yeah,
I really like that look.
Right, because
that look, like that. If you're gonna have Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I feel like that's the way he would be kitted out.
But you know that was them.
But like having that classic Aquaman look,
they was playing homage to the original Aquaman look.
Like I would have wanted them to do like the Ocean Man, the Aquaman animated movie, like where he gets where like that bit comes with like all the king's armor and the crown, and he's like, man, what the? I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I would have loved a scene like that rather than him like just coming out in that. But I get why they did it.
It's sparkly.
Very. Like, that is like some of the muscle padding on it. Like really threw me off. Like cause
no, it wasn't bad. Like what's the name? Like Shazam shit.
It ain't bad. It ain't bad like that. But it's just like it's so distracting because I go from not realizing it to like the moments where it's just really obvious that it's in there, and it just makes the suit look that much more like I don't want to say tacky, but I'm going to.
But see, it was just like one of them. You know when they doing these movies, it's like an Easter egg. You know, they can give you a nod, but it's not gonna be his main suit. He gonna take that shit off. You know, It was just hopefully, you know, moving forward, they're not gonna keep that shit.
Because I just hope that like if they come out with Justice League 2 or if there's an Aquaman 2 before that, I don't want to see him in that no more.
So
either a toned down version of that or go back to what they had him wearing.
Okay, so you said the costumes needed a little work.
Yeah. And really, it's only those two. Like, because everybody else pretty much looked on point the entire movie. You know? So.
So okay, talk about some more characters, man. So we got your villains. You got Ocean Master and Black Manta, and now we talk about cliches. Now, Black Manta, as everybody know, is Aquaman's main villain, and he was a cliche villain. He was a cliche I want revenge villain.
Yeah.
But he looked badass. just
because like I know like when they first announced like how like who all was going to be in this, and everyone was real worried about how they were going to make Black Manta not look ridiculous.
Yeah, they
made him look so badass. Like I've never wanted to cosplay as Black Manta. Now I want to. Like I feel like just like Black Panther blew up. You know, just like all these other characters blew up in the last couple years.
Mm-hmm. Black Manta,
Black Manta about to blow up.
Yeah. Like, and I was just saying, like, look, they did something, and I don't want to say what, but they did something to make Black Manta really hate Aquaman, and you were saying like, he didn't have strong motivation. I believe he did.
No, he had strong motivation. It's just like. That particular cliche is one I'm so sick of because it's like,
right? But
how you gonna take?
But they did it different. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish saying what you're saying. I'm gonna
hate for folks that do horrible stuff to take the comeuppance for their horrible stuff as a reason to get revenge on somebody.
But that wasn't the reason, because I felt like So I know what you're saying. Like, this is your fault, you know. But I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. But
he didn't pull a Superman maneuver when he could have. That's
right. But see, the thing is, the dude begged and pleaded with him. That changes everything.
No, it don't.
Yes, it do.
I think none of those dudes begged and pleaded before they got gunned down.
No, dude.
Come on,
I'm sorry. That changes everything because you are supposed to be better than them. That's the difference.
I don't play that game, and neither did he.
All right. And we ain't gonna say exactly what we talking about because it's a cool moment.
So, though I will say he does take that moment as like, okay, I'm gonna have to start playing that game from now on.
Well, see, what I'm saying is, this could create that villain because if that happened, now it's like I really hate this motherfucker because it ain't just me. It's because I humbled myself and this motherfucker still said fuck you. So fuck you.
Agree to disagree.
I mean, you know, because I really want to have a discussion about it, but it'll spoil it too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Like you said, we agree to disagree. I feel like he had pretty decent motivation.
Like, it's not a simplistic situation. Like,
it's not, but it's just slightly different.
I will
because
say
most
they
times
did a better job than most would.
Right, because most times situation it's just a cut and dry, and it's a cut and dry. It make you roll your eyes, like, and it's like, why are you blaming somebody for some shit that's your fault?
It's not a Hayden Christensen. I hate them. Yeah, you know, it's not whack. I will say that it is
right.
That scene, that the way they handled that whole deal is actually pretty
right,
good.
And that was some of my favorite moments when Black Manta was there, which is not that much, but it was enough. And Ocean Master. I actually dig Ocean Master, Luke Wilson character.
Like, so often whenever they use him, they write him as being like really weak character-wise.
But he was cliched too. But you know what? I think it was more like I like the music they played when he came on the screen. It was a cool bad guy music.
Yeah.
So I give him that. But he was a cliche character. Like everything that happened was something that I knew the whole story. Yeah. Without seeing this movie.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
Where
there were no surprises.
I mean, this story been told 100 times. You know, the half kid, the brother that's the full blood brother that actually hate him because of whatever, and he's gonna beat him, and they're gonna fight. You know what? I'm not gonna that'll be spoiling like, too much, but.
99% of this movie you've seen before.
You've seen before, and then when you see it, you're going to know it's coming.
Yeah.
And then they just going to do exactly what you think they're going to do.
They're going to set it up perfectly. They're going to be like, all right, now I want you to watch for this moment because this moment is coming. It's coming in 3, 2. Did you see the moment? Because if you didn't, what just happened was...
Yeah.
It's
Don't worry, you've seen it before.
It's so rote. But.
So this is what, stuff that got on my nerve the most. Like I said, I love the CGI, the parts in the water. The action was good. The villains was actually pretty decent to me. The parts I did not like is with the Jason Momoa and Amber Heard parts, where they not bad actors.
The fish out of water romance,
dude. They both good actors. I like both of them, right? But the way they wrote this stuff was so. It was like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Watching them two together was like watching Friends or something, or watching some old sitcom where we just two friends. It's like the part where they touched each other's hand, and then I ain't spoiling shit. The part where
they had their little moment.
It was so corny.
Every now and again they would like. Jump back from some thread and like happen to like touch.
It was one of them. It's one of them. Oh, she fell into my arms. Like, and he caught her and like, oh, we like each other. Oh, let's get away from each other real quick.
Wait, are we having a moment right now? We can't be having moments.
Yeah, that shit played to death, man. We knew y'all was gonna end up together.
Like that, because like anyone who knows the comics already knows that they're gonna get together, and anyone who's just coming,
you ain't gotta know shit. You ain't gotta know no comic. You can just tell by knowing movies or just knowing any of these moments exactly what's gonna happen.
Like, I'm sure that there's some 5 and 6 year olds like, are they gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend?
Right.
Yeah. It's so obvious from the jump.
Yeah, so they moments got them on there, but like I said, everything in between that was pretty good.
Yeah.
They moments got on my nerve. What else? It was some other stuff that was getting on my nerve. It's like I had like I'll try to remember everything because all the stuff that was getting on my nerves, I was taking a note. Okay, so the other cliche moments is when take your rightful place, all this shit, and I only want to give it everything away, but all the shit, I told you, I tuned out after a while because it was so cliche that I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Even when we got to the moment towards the end, I knew the whole time.
Oh my goodness!
It's like it wasn't even a well written. I knew the whole time,
man, dude. And then they did an old, you thought this character was his. Okay, no, that'll be spoiling it. They did a moment. Okay, they did a moment where you supposed to be surprised to see somebody. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not fucking surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it was better. That scene was better handled in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Uh-huh.
And even that was a given when we saw it.
Yeah, and then they played. Oh God, the cue the music. Mm-hmm. They cued the sappy music every time. They you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I think I saw your head kind of like tilting back. Like, oh
yeah.
My God.
every time I'm like, come on, y'all.
They did this. It's time to do that kiss for luck shit. It's time to see somebody I ain't seen in a long time. It's time to all the little cliche Hollywood moments. They did all that.
Yeah. And
they gave you music to cue it up every time they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the only way this movie could be more cliche and more rote was if there was somebody in the theater holding up reaction signs so that you know when to laugh.
Right.
When to go, aww.
Quiet. But no, those moments really kind of like took the movie down, but other stuff saved it. But whoever wrote this, like, come on, dude.
The writing made a beautiful movie a hard watch.
Yes, true.
Like, I'm like halfway through the movie, like
the action and the special effects.
I thought the movie had run long because I was getting so fucking tired of that movie halfway through.
Oh, you got to that point?
like I'm sitting there like, has this movie been going a long time?
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, you know what? It did run a little long because towards the end, the whole end sequence,
they stretched that out so long.
The end sequence was a lot of CGI. It's like, oh, did you like that? Hold on.
Also,
hold on. It's like this. Hold up. CGI. CGI. More CGI. Hold on. Is it cool? Hold on some more. It's like they just kept throwing it at you.
And like as much as I can accept why they did this, I didn't need underwater laser battles.
I mean, it was okay, but then it went on too long, and then it got to the point. They
even had the classic laser sound effects going on too.
Dude, it got to the point, man, where I felt like I thought it was gonna be over. Then I was like, wait a minute, they got a whole fucking climax to go through. God damn it!
Just when you thought it was over.
Yeah, like wait a minute, I'm still here. The villain, like I'm still here, so. You got at least 20 minutes, bro, so just chill out. Like, God damn it. But no, like I said, it was actually had some fun stuff in there. The whole, treasure map hunting shit.
We didn't need that.
Man, that's what I said. Them two together was like a fucking sitcom, man. When Harry met Sally, like the fuck out of here.
Their moments in this movie should have been a completely different movie. Like if they had tried to do a Mummy remake with those two, it would have been about the same, like a little less funny.
Yeah, I mean, okay, cool. cool, whatever.
Like we just.
But if you give me a superhero movie, don't give me when you know what I'm saying? Don't give me the Laverne and Shirley shit.
Yeah.
The fucking the Mark and Mindy. Who's a power couple that just when Harry met Sally, motherfucker. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me the Friends. Just give me the superhero shit, okay? I know they gonna fall in love or whatever, but I don't need to see them hunting for treasure.
Yeah.
Half of the movie,
in the
dude.
old, he doesn't like what she's about. She doesn't like what he's about. But they can't stay away from each other. I don't.
Oh my God! The minute she showed up, okay, y'all about to hook up. Next, we'll move on. Let's just save some trouble and y'all just hook up. So yeah, those are kind of cringeworthy because I know it was every little drama moment. I was rolling my eyes. Eye-rollingly bad drama moments.
Yeah,
like I didn't feel real drama when it was people that was reuniting, and I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but I was rolling my eyes so hard. I was like, God, just wrap this shit up. So, oh boy, it's time for the rating. You know what, man? I know I talked a lot of shit, but I think I got to give this movie. I got to give a movie a very, very, very high. All right. I was about to give it a dope. I want to give it a dope, but things about it was dope.
There is very little excuse for this movie not being dope. It's just that writing drags it down.
I know,
so
man.
much.
Because you know what? The reason why I can't, with good conscience, give it a dope because the ending. Like I ain't saying the ending was bad, but by the time the ending was coming, but by the time the ending got there, it was 20 minutes too 20 minutes too late. Like,
and it was one of the only two possible endings this could have had.
Yeah, so right, I know you knew exactly how it was going to end, and it took 20 minutes too long. So it was like you just dropped your movie down a rating because it's not, it's just going on too long, and they try to have a whole long sequence after we was. Pretty much the audience, well, I was done with this movie, and you gave me a whole nother sequence. I'm like, oh my God. And then your sequence played out exactly like I thought it was gonna play out. So I was like, okay, let's wrap this up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I like seeing my boy Black Manta on screen, even though he was just a cliche villain, but I still like him.
You can be a cliche when you look that cold.
Yeah.
Like, look, don't talk. Just stand there and look cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a high rate. It was close to that dope, but hey, get you some better writers. Know how to make these damn action movies.
Yep.
Stay focused on the right things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody love that bullshit.
For me with this movie, it has a problem that I
rom-com. That's what I was thinking about.
Like whenever
trying to make a rom-com in a damn action movie. What the fuck wrong with you? All right, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
My man's hot over here. He don't like this. But I have a real problem when folks are trying to tell me a story like, oh, you're not gonna believe what happened the other day, and it'll be something that would be like extremely entertaining. But it takes them so long to get to the point. It takes them so long to say anything interesting that
that you forgot what they started saying.
And then it's like, now the thing that happened sounds boring, even though it shouldn't have been. Like, so me and so went down to the bar, and so and so said this, and I was like, you know how so and so, like, man, that ain't the important. Cut all that. If you can't tell the story well, it doesn't matter how good it looks, doesn't matter how good the story itself is. If you can't tell it well, it's going to drag the whole story down. And the writing did not tell this story well. To go through so much trouble to make this look so perfect, to make this look like Aquaman, to make sure all the right actors are in the right roles, and then write it poorly.
Yeah, I mean the CGI can only take you so far.
Yeah.
So what you give it? What rating you
This is
give?
barely an eye. This movie should have been epic, and it's barely an eye.
Yeah, man, I'm a little mad about that because I was hearing all this good stuff like this movie was the best DC movie.
Yeah.
And,
DC finally got it right.
yeah, DC. No, this is not better than Wonder Woman.
No.
Not by a long shot. Wonder Woman's still the best DC movie. It was fun. You had, have some fun with it. I really got annoyed with the rom-com shit, but I like I said, I have a lot of fun with this action. I liked the villain. I liked the villains. But
like the writing in this movie made me wish they had saved Jason Momoa for Lobo.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because then he can say "yeah" as much as he wants.
Women, huh? Redheads. Can't live with them or some shit he said. Like, oh my God.
Oh man.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap up, man. That is the review for Aquaman. Go see it. It's worth seeing, and I ain't saying it's like, not good.
Like if you're not already on board to go see it, wait till it's, available to rent or something.
Yeah, but hey, if you're gonna go see it for the Black Manta story.
Hey, look, now there's a movie for you. Cold.
You know what?
Cold hard revenge. The Black Manta story.
I'm trying not to just like the villain in these movies. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be objective. I tend to like the villains.
But cause to me, part of it is like when you finally see a well done villain, it's hard not to be happy about it. Especially after Steppenwolf.
Yeah, and that's like when we had our disagreement. I'm like, I actually because of the writing in that scene, I actually feel
I actually like the way that scene is written.
Right.
It's just that I get really sick because I see it so many times.
I know the idea is cliche.
The idea is cliche, but the what's the word I'm looking for? The execution was on point.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The way they handled it made me overlook the cliche. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was like, okay, well, I see why he wanted to do this. What else he got to do? That's his main goal.
Like the conviction is 100% believable.
Yeah.
My only thing was I didn't need to see that story again. But they did it better than everyone before them.
But it wasn't the main story.
Right.
So it was just, it was just his motivation.
I'm just glad they didn't mess up and kill him off. I'm just glad he's coming.
Yeah, I knew. I was waiting on that. I said no way, but I was waiting on something else.
The second, of course, being the cliche machine this movie was, the second there wasn't a body, I'm like, okay, so he's still.
Oh yeah. But that's all I was waiting on. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I want to see that. What's going to happen with that? And I ain't gonna say what because that was spoiler. We'd probably do a spoiler discussion on another time, or whatever.
I'm still trying to figure out, and I'm gonna ask you after we sign off because this is a bit spoilery. It's not highly spoilery, but it's a bit spoilery.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna wrap up, man. Thank y'all for checking out the channel. Epic Entertainment Critics. I don't think we said that when I first started. I usually do. I was just ready to go.
And of course, if you like this video, this stream, don't forget to give us a like and a follow. We still alive. We still here. I haven't fallen off the face of the planet.
Who is this dude?
I am still James.
My new subscribers are gonna be like, who the fuck is this dude?
So we still gonna be getting these movie reviews in. Whatever we got to do to get them in.
All right, yeah. You heard the man. Please subscribe. We working. All right, y'all. We out of here.
Peace.
Be easy.